Dear listeners, welcome. Take a moment, feel your breath, that gentle rhythm. Not something you do, but something that's always happening. Let's rest here. Today, I want to speak with you about something deceptively simple, so ordinary, in fact, that it hides the extraordinary within it. Walking, yes, walking. But stay with me. This isn't about fitness tips or counting steps. This is about the deep Dhamma of walking, a practice the Buddha himself embraced every single day. And I say this, not as poetry, not as metaphor, but as a deep truth. Walking can save your mind. Walking can soften your heart. Walking can change your life. No, really, the forest walk of the mind. When I was a young monk, newly ordained, I found myself in the forests of Thailand. Rain-soaked paths, insects buzzing, and the cries of unseen birds echoing in the dusk. Our kutis, those small huts, were scattered throughout the jungle. And the silence. It wasn't empty. It was rich, alive, full of listening. Each day, morning and afternoon, we walked. Not to go somewhere, not to accomplish anything. We walked to meet the mind. And I discovered something quietly profound. When the mind is agitated, spinning stories, tangled in ego and drama, the feet can soothe it. Step by step, breath by breath, thoughts begin to fall away, like leaves in the autumn wind. Try it. When your heart feels heavy, don't reach for a screen. Don't numb it with sugar or distraction. Go to your feet, take a walk. Let the earth draw your burdens downward. What the Buddha said. Did you know that the Buddha recommended walking meditation as a core practice? In the Satipatthana Sutta, the discourse on the 4 foundations of mindfulness, he says, Gachanto vagachamti pajanati. When walking, know that you are walking. Simple words, but divine, because when we walk with awareness, we practice vipassana, insight. Each step becomes a chance to see impermanence. Each shift in balance reveals the illusion of self. Each sway, each breath, each motion unveils dukkha and its cessation. And now modern science confirms it. Walking helps anxiety, depression, stress. But 2,600 years ago, the Buddha didn't need research papers. He knew because he saw. He saw with Bodhi Jnana, the wisdom of awakening. The path is beneath your feet. Let me tell you a story. One day, a young monk came to me and said, Ajahn, my meditation is weak. My thoughts are wild. I can't even sit for 10 minutes. I smiled and replied, then don't sit. Walk. He looked confused. But isn't sitting deeper? He asked. And I said, depth isn't in the posture, depth is in the presence. So he began walking. Every morning, every evening. At first, distracted, then calmer, then still. One day he returned and said, Ajahn, I found peace between 2 footsteps. I smiled again. You've found the Dhamma, I said. So, you see, we don't walk to reach a destination. We walk to arrive in this moment, walking through the fire of the mind. Some of you suffer anxiety, loneliness, grief. You sit in your room and your mind feels like a kennel of barking dogs. I understand. The mind becomes a storm and you're caught inside it. But walking is like stepping out of that storm and into the forest. Let the body move. Let the earth carry you. Let the breath become your companion again. There were times I walked and wept quietly, softly. Yes, even monks cry. But the tears fell onto the path and disappeared into the leaves. That is impermanence. That is healing. So if your heart is in pain, walk. Not to escape, but to return, to feel your feet, to remember this breath, this moment, this life. Even the arahants walked. Even the arahants, the fully awakened ones, walked. The Buddha himself walked 16 miles each day on alms round. He could have flown if he wanted, but he walked, barefoot, through dust and heat. Why? Because walking keeps the heart tender. It roots you in the body, in reality, and the mind can wander too far when the soles of your feet are touching the earth. Supernatural power. Walk in silence now, you might ask. Ajahn, did you mention supernatural power? Yes, but not the kind you see in movies, not flying, not reading minds, but something far more rare. A still heart, a quiet mind, a soul unshaken by fear. When you walk in silence, truly, with presence, you begin to hear what others cannot. You hear the heartbeat of the trees, you hear the song of impermanence, you hear the voice of your own Buddha nature, and that is not ordinary. That is the miracle. How to walk like a monk. Let me guide you. Stand. Let your arms rest. Feel your breath. Bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. Now, take a slow, mindful step. Feel the heel touch, the foot settle, the toes press off. Now another step. Don't rush. This isn't a race. It's a return to what? To your life, to this breath, to the only moment you will ever truly have. This one. Try 10 steps like this, with full presence, then pause and smile. You've just done what most people forget to do all day. You were awake. Let me leave you with something strange yet true. The point of walking meditation isn't to get anywhere. When we walk with awareness, each step is the destination. The fruit is the practice. The path is the goal. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to fix yourself. You only need to arrive. Here, again and again and again. So, next time your mind is lost in thought, or your heart aches, or the world just feels dull, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your shoes. Go outside. Walk. But not just as a body going through the motions. Walk as a noble disciple. Walk as a student of the Buddha. Walk as a free being. No, really. Take a walk, take refuge in your own 2 feet. The world walks, but few arrive. Dear listener, the world is always moving. Buses, cars, planes, trains, footsteps echoing on concrete. But how many of these travelers truly arrive? Not at a destination, but at presence, at the temple of now. The Buddha didn't walk to rack up miles. He walked for insight. He walked through the forest of illusion, through the jungle of craving. And eventually, he walked out. Now you and I, we walk too. But where are we going? If your mind is scattered, you could walk 10,000 miles and still be nowhere. But if your heart is steady, 10 mindful steps in your own backyard becomes a sacred pilgrimage. So gently ask yourself, am I walking home? Or am I just walking away? The mind follows the feet, a lay visitor once told me. Ajahn, when I walk around the block, my problems don't seem so loud anymore. I smiled and replied, that's because, for once, your mind followed your feet instead of dragging them. You see, we're often pulled around by the mind, through guilt, memory, anxiety, and craving. We walk, but mentally, we're still at the office, still in our inbox, still in someone else's conflict. But when you walk mindfully, step by step, you invite the wandering mind back home. And it's beautiful. No pills, no guru tricks, just presence, just peace. The noble walker, Satipatthana in motion. You've likely heard of Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. They're not reserved for monks. They're not locked in ancient texts. They're the living, breathing, operating system of liberation. And walking meditation activates all 4. 1. Kayanupassana, mindfulness of the body. Feel your steps. Feel your breath. Feel your posture. Suddenly you're not lost in thoughts anymore. You're right here now in this mysterious body of bones and breath. 2. Vedananupassana, mindfulness of feeling. You begin to notice, oh, this step feels light, that one aches, this breath is smooth, that one caught a little. You don't judge, you just see. 3. Cittanupassana, mindfulness of mind. As you walk, the mind shifts. Cloudy, clear, restless, calm. And you start to realize, I'm not these moods, they come, they go. 4. Dhammanupassana, mindfulness of Dhamma. Walking reveals, this is impermanent. This is not mine. This is not me. And that wisdom doesn't come from books. It rises through the soles of your feet. The monk who walked out of hell. Years ago, I met a monk who had once been a soldier. He had seen war. He had seen things that would break most hearts. When he returned home, he couldn't sleep. His nights were haunted by screams. Even the wind made him flinch. But in the monastery, he was given one practice: walking. He walked slowly. Some days he cried. Some days his jaw clenched with pain. But still, he walked. After a year, his nightmares began to fade. By year 2, his silence grew deep. In the 3rd year, he started to smile again. He once told me, "Ajahn, I didn't walk to escape hell. I walked through it, and I came out holding light in my hands. So if your heart feels heavy, if your trauma howls at night, you don't have to fix everything all at once. Just walk, with presence, with patience, with a little kindness, and one day, the storm will bow." Why the Buddha walked slowly. Have you ever seen a monk walk? Not in a rush, not dragging their feet, not sluggish, not showing off, just steady. The Buddha walked like a lion through tall grass, every step deliberate. He wasn't trying to impress, he wasn't trying to flee. He walked because each step was enough. Even now, when I walk to my kuti in the forest, the grass whispers, "Thank you for not crushing us." And I whisper back, "Thank you for teaching me how to bend." So I say this to you, walk as though the earth is sacred, because it is. And so are you. The science joins the suttas. I don't often quote Western science in Dhamma talks, but I must admit, it's lovely when science finally catches up to the Dhamma. Modern research now confirms walking lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It boosts serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good chemicals. Nature walks reduce blood pressure. It improves memory, sleep, and creativity. But perhaps most touching, walking gives you a sense of control. When life feels overwhelming, 1 step grounds you, 2 steps steady you, 3 steps remind you, I'm still here. So yes, dear listener, science agrees. Walking heals. But the Buddha didn't need a lab. He had the forest, the silence, and the truth of the present moment. The feet touch the earth, the mind touches the Dhamma. Let's pause for a brief walking reflection. Stand if you can. If not, just close your eyes and imagine. Feel your right foot. Now your left. Notice the shift of weight. Breathe. No need to analyze. Just feel. Now, take a mental step and quietly say in your heart, this step is for letting go. Next step, this step is for peace. Next step, this step is for awakening. Let your mind walk with your body. Let your feet carry not just your weight, but your karma, your past, your stories, your sorrow. Let it all settle into the earth. And with each step, walk a little lighter. Your path, your pilgrimage. Here's a thought I'd like to leave with you. Every time you take a mindful step, you are walking the noble eightfold path. Right view. This walking leads to peace. Right intention. I walk with kindness. Right speech. I remain silent to hear truth. Right action. My body moves with wisdom. Right livelihood. My steps do no harm. Right effort. I stay present. Right mindfulness. Each step is known. Right concentration. My mind is unified. You don't need robes. You don't need a forest. You don't even need a long trail. Just a patch of earth and a heart willing to wake up. The silent revolution. Now imagine this with me. What if once a day the whole world paused and walked? Phones off, minds quiet, hearts soft, feet moving with grace. What if prisons taught walking meditation? What if corporations offered mindful walking breaks? What if children learned to walk in presence? What if hospitals prescribed 10 mindful steps instead of 10 pills? Can you see it? Not loud, not angry, not political. A silent revolution, where people don't fight their pain. They return to the moment, to the breath, to the body, to the step, to the Dhamma. Let the earth be your teacher. One final reflection. The earth is old, older than your fears, older than your heartbreaks. She has watched kingdoms rise and fall. She has held every kind of sorrow, and yet she remains still. She welcomes your feet. So when you walk, feel her support. She holds you like a mother, asking for nothing, offering everything. Let her teach you, step, step, listen. Let your mind fall into rhythm with the trees. Let the ego melt into the breeze. This is walking meditation. This is healing. This is the way. Parting words. Dear listener, today we've walked together through forests, memories, truths, and possibilities. Don't leave these words behind. Let them walk with you.